A 24-year-old man still waiting to learn his prison term for killing a young mother.
James Muñoz is live with more on that. James?
Sarah and Chris, last month a jury convicted Gerardo Gutierrez of murder. Soon a judge will hand down his punishment.
James Muñoz is live in the 4400 block of Rockdale with the latest on the search for the third suspect. James.
Vicky and Fred Mohammed Omar started working here at Skyline 2 years ago. Last night he tried to protect his life and property, but he didn't make it.
James.
Deborah, Chris, we've seen a steady stream of people here driving by and stopping by. Today, the father of baby Scott says Adi Sanchez was recently admitted to the hospital for mental problems, but he says he believes she knew right from wrong.
James Muñoz is a reporter for KNSR affiliate in San Antonio, Texas. He joins us from outside the Brooke Army Medical Center where Major Hassan was transported a few hours ago. The press conference detailed a lot. What's the security like there, James?
Well, Larry, good evening. The security here is tight. We understand a number of healthcare workers are around Major Hassan, and you can bet plenty of law enforcement officers are also around the Army psychiatrist. He was flown in by helicopter here around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Our news station learned of the event 45 minutes after that, and so we are pressing the military tonight for photos or video of this event. We asked why we weren't notified for this transfer of one of the most hated men in America, perhaps right now. We may get that answer tomorrow, just as we got the answer tonight about why the families have not been notified. That's certainly understandable, why we don't have an official list of the names. So right now we know Hassan is here in stable condition. He is in the intensive care unit. This is a level 1 trauma center, probably the #2 Army hospital in the country and the #1 highest level Army hospital in our region. He also might have been brought to this area just for the higher level of care, but also because the San Antonio FBI headquarters is overseeing this case.
Thanks, James. Excellent reporting as well.
KENS 5's James Muñoz reports.
It's exhausting. This is our third day, especially with all the gear.
These SWAT team members are training the way they'll fight in full gear, carrying 65 pounds of equipment.
One of my longest call outs is about 8 hours, so and that's full gear. So it does get hot, but I mean, we do it.
Martin Bettis is one of the newest members of the Bexar County SWAT team. In 15 months, he's already been on 20 missions.
It's a certain amount of pride to get on that team.
Our radio's dead, dude. We cannot communicate with you through the radio.
Today, he's training with officers from Kerrville, San Marcos, and Live Oak. They were thrown into this high-stress scenario, a sniper on the building with officers and civilians down. They have little time to think and react. They have to rely on their training.
Everything that we did out here is something that we're going to utilize potentially on a mission.
The entire drill is recorded, and once they're in the classroom, they realize there's room for improvement.
You learn, I didn't think I did that, and oh wow, when you see it on video, you realize maybe I did do that.
Let's face it, we're in the business of life and death. If we do it right, people live. And if we screw up, people die.
Instructor Sandy Wall served the Houston Police Department for 28 years. He says in today's world, cross-training SWAT teams is crucial.
Another 9/11 that won't necessarily be airplanes flying into buildings. It may be active shooters running into major events like theaters, malls, whatever. And if they've planned it well and they're executing it well, it's going to take these guys with this kind of training and this kind of equipment to be able to stop it.
After a full day of practice, these officers remember this was just one way, not necessarily the only way. When it's the real deal, they'll be able to move into harm's way without fear.
We're public servants. We're out there to protect and serve the public. And we do what we do, and we think about the fear later when it's all over.
Stand by, 3, 2, 1.
After all, these elite tactical officers took an oath to serve and protect. It's what they're equipped to do, but it takes ongoing training. And because no one agency has all the tools and all the toys, they have to be ready to work together. James Muñoz, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
San Antonio's first high-definition newscast. KENS 5 Eyewitness News Sunday starts now.
Good morning. It's Sunday, December 20th. I'm James Muñoz. Barry Davis has the morning off. Welcome to San Antonio's only Sunday morning newscast. We've got a lot planned this morning. It's the season of giving. Our friends from Catholic Charities are here to tell us how you can help someone in need this holiday season. And we'll talk with Workforce Solutions Alamo about the latest job report numbers. We'll get to all that in a moment. But first, Jared Silverman has our first look at the forecast. San Antonio police kept busy overnight with a car chase. A man was spotted driving the wrong way on Carolina Street near 37 South. Police tried to flag him to pull over, but instead the guy took off. Eventually, police caught up with the suspect in the 600 block of South Pine. 2 officers were hurt during the scuffle, and both were taken to a local hospital with minor injuries. The driver was arrested and faces multiple charges, including assault on a police officer. An 82-year-old man shot in the back while standing outside his home, and so far police have no suspects. Around 4 yesterday morning, officers responded to a home in the 400 block of Goodrich. Police say 82-year-old Raimundo Salazar was outside his house by his carport when someone behind his property shot him. Salazar was taken to University Hospital where he died. Residents of a senior living apartment complex are on edge after a neighbor was found beaten to death in her apartment. The woman's body was found Friday afternoon underneath her mattress, covered in blood. Police say the door to her apartment was locked, but everything inside was ransacked. Some neighbors think the person responsible for the death may have known the victim.
On the news, it seemed like it said that there was no break-in. I'm thinking, what happened there? You know, I was kind of concerned because we're so close.
A jewelry box was belonging to the victim was also broken into. The official cause of death is pending an autopsy, but SAPD is investigating it as a murder. A 17-year-old boy shot while sitting in his car has been taken off of life support. The shooting happened at the intersection of Fair and South New Braunfels. Police say the victim, Paul De Leon, was struck once in the head. EMS rushed him to Brooke Army Medical Center. So far, police have no suspects in the crime. For the second time in the last 3 years, EMS workers declared a woman dead who was in fact still alive. A woman was crossing the street at Morrison and Gillette when a driver making a right turn hit her. The driver dragged her for a few feet and his tires ran over her completely. First, emergency responders declared her dead. The woman was covered with a large yellow tarp. A few minutes later, our KENS 5 chopper caught the commotion.
I just heard somebody say she has a pulse. And then I turned back to look, and that's when they uncovered her and they started working on her again.
How they found the pulse, I don't know. I wasn't here at that point. So if they kept checking on her, or if somebody saw that the tarp moving as maybe breathing, then I don't know.
A medical helicopter was brought in. The victim was flown to University Hospital in critical condition, where she later died. The spokesperson for the San Antonio Fire Department says they have to look into all of the details first before they decide what action needs to be taken. Fireworks will soon go on sale, and Bexar County is getting ready for any problems that may arise. The county fire marshal says there is still a fire danger despite recent rains. He says grass and brush has grown taller because of the rain, resulting in more fuel for a fire. But due to the fire, there are no bans. Due to the rain, rather, vendors are allowed to sell any type of firework that meets state law. A new report from the Centers for Disease Control finds more and more children are being diagnosed with autism. Government figures show 1 in 110 8-year-olds is classified as having autism spectrum disorder. That's a 57% increase from 4 years ago. Child advocates say the findings highlight the need for more services to help those with the condition.